Welcome to Storytime with Faisal. Hot beverage, grab your seat, pour yourself a warm cup of tea, and get ready to dive into captivating tales that inspire, challenge, and entertain. Whether you're here for heartwarming stories, social justice lessons, or a touch of karmic justice, there's always something special brewing. Sit back, relax, and let's begin the journey together. The first day of school at Westbridge Academy was filled with a mix of excitement and nerves. Elijah Daniels adjusted his tie, glancing at the pristine hallways lined with bright banners and motivational quotes. His mother, Angela, had fought hard for this opportunity. The scholarship he received was a beacon of hope for their future. Elijah was ready to prove himself. He had always been a top student, excelling in every subject, especially history. He loved how stories from the past shaped the world and dreamed of becoming a historian one day. However, he didn't anticipate that this new school would test him in ways far beyond academics. As he walked into his history class, his eyes met those of Mr. Thompson. The teacher was in his mid-50s, with silver hair slicked back and a stern expression that made the room feel colder. Mr. Thompson had been teaching at Westbridge for over 2 decades. He was known for his strict discipline and traditional teaching style, and most students feared him more than respected him. "New student, I presume?" Mr. Thompson's voice was sharp as he scanned Elijah. "Yes, sir." "Elijah Daniels," he replied, standing tall. "Take a seat," Mr. Thompson said, his tone flat, offering no welcome. Elijah made his way to an empty seat near the front. He noticed a few curious glances from his classmates, but most avoided eye contact. It wasn't long before he realized why. During the lecture, Mr. Thompson's questions seemed disproportionately directed at Elijah. Every answer he gave was met with skepticism. "Are you sure about that?" Mr. Thompson questioned, even when Elijah's responses were accurate. By the end of the class, Elijah felt drained. This wasn't just tough teaching, it felt personal. The pattern continued over the next few weeks. Mr. Thompson often used Elijah as an example, pointing out mistakes that weren't there or dismissing his contributions in discussions. It was subtle, but Elijah felt the weight of it every day. One afternoon, Mr. Thompson handed back graded essays. Elijah had spent hours perfecting his paper on the Reconstruction era. When he flipped it open, his heart sank. "C- was scribbled in red ink. Beneath the grade, a comment read, "Lacks original thought." Elijah approached Mr. Thompson after class. "Sir, could we discuss my essay? I'm confused about the feedback." Mr. Thompson looked up, his eyes cold. "Your writing lacks depth. You need to put in more effort. Maybe history isn't your strong suit." Elijah clenched his fists, but stayed calm. "I'd appreciate more specific feedback. I worked really hard on this." "Hard work doesn't always equal quality," Mr. Thompson said dismissively. "If you're not satisfied, take it up with someone else." That evening, Elijah vented to his mother. Angela listened intently, her face a mix of concern and determination. "This isn't just about a grade," Elijah said. "He treats me differently. He doesn't believe I belong there." Angela's eyes flashed. "You belong there just as much as anyone else. We'll figure this out, but you need to document everything. Keep a record of every incident." Elijah took her advice, jotting down each encounter, each unfair remark. Over time, his notebook filled with moments that painted a clear picture of bias. One day, during a group presentation, Elijah's team received praise from the other teachers in the room. Mr. Thompson, however, was unmoved. "It seems like Elijah let others do the heavy lifting," he said in front of the entire class. Laughter rippled through the room, but it wasn't kind. It stung. After class, Elijah's friend Sophia approached him. "That wasn't fair," she said, her voice low. "It's always like this," Elijah muttered. "We need to do something," Sophia insisted. A week later, an unexpected opportunity arose. During a school assembly, the principal announced a new initiative promoting inclusivity and anti-bullying. Students were encouraged to speak up about any issues they faced. Sophia nudged Elijah. "This is it," she whispered. Elijah hesitated. Could he really make a difference? That evening, Sophia convinced Elijah to write a letter to the school board detailing his experiences. They included specific incidents and signatures from other students who witnessed the bias. Angela reached out to a civil rights lawyer, Mr. Carter, who agreed to support them. A week passed, then two. Elijah started to lose hope. But one morning, the school was abuzz. Someone had anonymously recorded Mr. Thompson making a derogatory comment about Elijah and shared it online. The video spread rapidly, sparking outrage. Parents demanded answers. The school board launched an investigation. Mr. Thompson was suspended pending the outcome. In the weeks that followed, the school held forums and discussions on racism and bias. Elijah was invited to speak. Standing at the podium, he took a deep breath. "This isn't just about me," he began. "It's about all the students who feel unheard, who feel like they don't belong. We deserve better." His speech resonated deeply. Policies were changed, and teachers underwent training on cultural sensitivity. As for Mr. Thompson, he eventually issued a public apology. Though many questioned its sincerity, Elijah chose to focus on the future. Graduation day came with Elijah standing tall, delivering the valedictorian speech. "Change is possible," he said. "But it starts with standing up, even when it's hard." As the audience erupted in applause, Elijah glanced at his mother, who beamed with pride. Justice had been served, and Elijah's resilience had paved the way for a brighter future. In cultural sensitivity.